from the Red Bull. I'm trying to read some notes for the Red Bull presser here about how Struber is saying that our season isn't over yet, and we're not awful, but everybody except Caceres and Long are going to be healthy and ready to go on Saturday. We have some challenging matches, but they make my boys better. Yeah, growth. Woo!
All part of the system.
Alan Chapman is a special referee, citing the game that he called in Montreal. I showed you that clip, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was ridiculous, and he should be sent to jail. That's a different story. Anyways, we're back. Really quick clip here, really quick conversation. United States men's national team have dropped their roster for World Cup qualifiers, 3 games in about 10 days, starting on the 2nd of September. I should get in screen. Hello. So we're just jumping on real quick and running through the roster, giving our reactions and sharing it up. Really, I mean, first look, really happy with it. It's a mixture of players who now know this system that Greg's been trying to work in over the last couple days. Players who have a lot of potential, and players that just fit in the way that he likes to play. So it's probably the most talented roster we've had in a U.S. men's national team qualifier comparatively to all the rest of the teams that we're playing ever, right? I mean, you look back in 2018, we were still rolling Michael Bradley in center midfield with Kyle Beckerman, and
we should bring him back.
All right, we're going to stop right there before I hit you. But at first look, you're rolling with Ethan Horvath, Zach Steff, and Matt Turner in goal. In the back, you've got Bello, Brooks, Desti, McKenzie, Reem, Robinson, Anthony, Robinson, Miles, Sands, Yedlin, and Zimmerman. In the midfield, a shorter one, but you've got a few people that you can work around with. You've got Cal Acosta, which again, weird. He's listed as a midfielder when we know he plays outside back. Tyler Adams, Sebastian Leggett, Weston McKinney, and Christian Roldan, which I think is a great pickup there, but we'll talk about that in a second. And in the forward listed players, Aronson, De La Fuente, Siba Chupifok, Pepe, Pulisic, Reyna, Sargent, and Weah. So, thoughts? Just right off the bat, what are you thinking?
I mean, overall, it's a great team.
This is, yeah.
It's so many faces that we wanted to see that are here. I mean, I am so ecstatic that we got Pepe on the roster. I was getting worried about the dual nationality there, but it's so great to see him on there. And I think we can. I know you sent that tweet to the group this morning, but I think we can conclude that Greg is the ultimate recruiter. I mean, he is recruiting.
I am less worried about him recruiting players as much as I am getting into World Cup 2022. If Pepe comes in, scores a brace against Cuba, whatever, and gets us in and qualifies us, and then walks away and says, I want to go play for Mexico now, don't care, because we got to where we need to go. We have a ton of people coming through. All I care about is that if he's going to wear that shirt, he's going to do his job. And that's, if he's called upon, put the ball in the back of the net.
He'll do that. He'll do it.
We sure hope so.
I have a quick question for you. I know you're living in Kentucky. Can you feel John Calipari's sweat from here as Greg is now challenging him for a top recruiter?
At this point, because of the season that he had last year, UK basketball doesn't exist right now.
Okay.
Not many people care, but once the season kicks off again, then I'll make sure to ask him, because if they aren't doing well, they aren't playing. That's just kind of the vibe here. When they're doing well, everybody loves Kentucky basketball, but once they start doing poorly and you ask them about it, nobody watches the games. It's very
sounds like someone else we know.
Yeah, I don't know, something like that. very plastic.
Maybe a family member or something.
Yeah. The obviously the glaring omission is Jackson Ewell and Jordan Lewis. That's Jonathan Lewis for people. It's an inside joke. Don't worry about it. Don't cancel us. Obviously, those two are glaring omissions from Greggy boys.
Oh, don't forget Zardes as well.
Zardes is out, but that's because he's injured. He got
Brad Guzan.
Guzan's out. We're missing Tyler Boyd and Paul Arriola.
Oh, Paul Arriola, man, that's a hard
Paul
one.
Arriola not in this team. I don't know. Who do you start in goal?
Stefan, if he's healthy. But I just want to say, like, the goalkeepers could not have been more spot on. That is absolutely the perfect three to bring.
If he took anybody else in there, he was getting fired. You had Matt Turner, who like single-handedly won the Gold Cup. Ethan Horvath, who basically single-handedly came in and won the Nations League, and Zach Steffen, who is the guy.
Yeah.
If you brought anybody else, it would have been wild. Yeah, I think Steffen still has it, but I wouldn't be shocked to see any of them get a game, right? So we've got games. The men's national team have 3 games in 10 days against El Salvador, Canada, and then Honduras. I would not be shocked to see them rotate goalkeepers in any of them because they can all do their job. Yeah, and they're going to have to, right? I mean, maybe not in the goalkeeper spot per se, but if you've got really 6 days between 3 games in 6 days, you're playing every other day, every 3 days, give or take.
Yeah, gonna have to rotate.
You're gonna have to rotate a ton. So I'm not shocked if they rotate and get a game. I'd probably say right now it's Steffen, Turner, Horvath, but I mean I could be totally wrong.
Yeah, I was literally just about to ask you who's the number 2 right now, and I wholly agree it should be Turner.
I mean, just based off of recency bias, right?
Yeah.
Because is Horvath starting at Nottingham Forest?
You would hope so.
Yeah, I'm gonna check right now. Championship.
Well, they're losing a ton right now, so I kind of hope he's not.
Nottingham Forest 2-1 against Blackburn. They lost.
He played in that game. They lost 4-0 to Wolves.
And he did not play in the game. They lost 2-1 to Blackburn.
He did not play against Stoke either.
So he's probably their cup keeper right now. Because he lost when they played against Wolves.
Yeah. In fairness, they lost 4-0, but Wolves had 28 shots, 13 on target. So
he made 11 saves.
Are we really going to complain about Horvath's performance? No. I think it's more on the defense.
Yeah. So what it looks like is he's not starting in league games. So that's right there. Sure. But right there, that drops into number 3 because he's got no game experience. At least when he was at Bruges, he was getting game time. So he was ready for it. But, I still think Zach, I think deciding between 2 and 3 is game experience, but Zach Steffen still gets number 1.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Comes down to it, crunch time, big game against Canada, big game against Mexico, Steffen gets it.
Yep.
Give Turner the El Salvador, Honduras games.
Yeah, I mean, give Horvath the game against Cuba or Haiti or whatever. Because, again, it's not like the goalkeeper switch is going to really do much about it. Defenders. Looking at it, I'm happy with it. You've got a mixture of experience and youth, leadership, and with the injuries that are riddling the back line of America right now, this is probably the best you're going to get. I mean, I think if you have Aaron Long in there, I think Aaron Long slides in for Tim Ream. But other than that, I don't see anybody else I could swap out here.
You'll have to catch me up on injuries because I can't wrap my head around as to why Tim Ream is in this team. It's frustrating to constantly see him on there. I understand it's like, oh, he's experienced, but at what point?
So
we have John Brooks. John Brooks is our experienced center back at this point. What do we need
but he also goes ahead and covers 2 spots, right? Because he can play in the center. He can play on the outside center of a back three. He can play outside back if you need him to. He's awful
Oh
at it,
God, please
but he
don't
can
put
slide
him
in,
outside.
right?
I'll put Calvin Acosta there again before I put Tim Ream.
Yeah. I'm just looking here to see.
If he does not get any of the important game time in this team, fine, whatever. I don't care. I don't want him anywhere near an important game. I don't want him coming off the bench. I don't want him starting.
Kind of shocked that Tim Ream actually is in here. See, I remember this. He got hurt in the last game that he played before he got called in. He took some weird fall and got carried off the field. But he's in now. Areola has a hamstring injury. So
that's the only reason why he's not on there.
That might be, we talked about the DK injury offline, but DK coming off that knock from the Gold Cup and hasn't really been playing since, so he's out. Josie, we knew he wasn't going to come in anyway, and then Yunus Musa picked up an ankle injury to miss the start of Valencia's La Liga campaign, and then we mentioned Aaron Long as well.
Yeah, can you explain to me why Matt Miazga is not there instead of Tim Ream?
Sure. So Tim Ream actually has been really good for Fulham, by the way. So if we look at
the team that he got relegated the season before.
Yes, because it was all Tim Ream's fault that he got relegated.
I know it's not all his fault, but
don't make me come over there.
Hold on. I'm pulling up the league last year.
Tim Ream is running at a 6.66. Anthony Robinson, 7.15. Both of them have 4 appearances, have started all 4 games for them in the championship, in which they have given up a combined 3 goals in 4 games. Fulham are actually running the show right now. They are so
good. They played Middlesbrough, Huddersfield, Millwall, Birmingham, and Hull City.
So we're talking, you say that, right?
Sorry, Birmingham's the cup.
Right, but you say that in the 4 games that they played, 3 of them were against teams that were in the Prem in the last 5 years. That's not nothing. It's not like they're playing.
Yeah, but take a look at what they just did last season. Hull City was in League One last year. Huddersfield avoided the relegation by the hair on their chin.
Okay.
Millwall's probably their toughest opponent so far. Millwall and Middlesbrough, mid-table. And then they played Charlton, who I think was Charlton promoted last year also? I don't remember.
What team is Miazga even on right now?
He's with Alaves.
He's at Anderlecht?
No, he's at Alaves. He just
Alaves?
got on there. Yeah, in La Liga.
Deportivo Alaves?
Uh-huh.
Awesome. Want to know why he's not in this team?
Why?
Because he hasn't played yet.
Okay.
It's the same reason that who did we just say? We just said somebody wasn't in here because he wasn't playing. Oh, Ethan Horvath. The same reason Ethan Horvath's number 3. If you're not playing games, you
Ethan's still in the team.
Yeah, but as a 3rd string, right? You're telling me that you're gonna take Miazga as a 3rd string versus
Tim Ream? Yes.
Tim Ream, who knows the system already. Stop it.
He knows the old system where we
what
lost.
Old system? It's the same system. We've won 3 tournaments with the same system. What do you mean?
He wasn't there for the last tournament. He was there for the Nations League.
Sure, but the system doesn't change. Greg's not going to be like, oh yeah, this thing really worked really well. Let me change it. Well, I mean, he probably will. There's no Zardes. He's going to change it. But,
do we even have? At least we have a couple more wingers this time.
Who do you have? And I think he had to have learned and oh man, I really like using this winger system, but I got nobody to play. I probably should do more.
Could have brought in Chris Mueller. I don't know.
Who do you start? Who's your starting 4?
I would say Robinson, Anthony Robinson, Brooks, Miles Robinson, and Dest.
Yo, it's criminal the fact that Walker Zimmerman and James Sands are not going to be playing in this team.
I think
That's-
Sands more so has a chance because he could
Sands
slide
will play
into
in
the
the
midfield.
midfield. Yeah, he'll slide up, and that's why I think he went light on the midfield because he knew he could use Sands there. But that's so criminal after how good they've been. They're just going to be like, yeah, have fun on the bench, my guy.
Yeah, it's just tough in that spot. I mean, even Mark McKenzie's probably not gonna. You know what? I
That's
don't
not
really
too
know.
bad. I'm not heartbroken over that.
McKenzie, he might still get game time. I could see him definitely getting starts, but I think personally,
Listen.
Miles Robinson has earned that starting spot.
Game one. So he's either going to do it this way. He's going to go game one is going to be the number one team that we play, the best team that we put out there, or he'll do like a weaker side against El Salvador and play the strong team against Canada, right?
Mhm.
So to me, the strongest team that you're going to put out there right now with a back four would be correct. It would be Anthony Robinson, Brooksy, Miles, and Dest. That being said, I just want to double check the way that because they lined up. I'm almost certain they never did we never really did a back five, right? That wasn't usually our go-to.
I mean, he might have switched to it during the game at some point.
Yeah,
Gold Cup, but
there was never a starting lineup with five, right?
that's definitely a possibility with this team.
Well, that's the other thing is because, and I'm like I said, I think he'll stay 4-3-3 because he's not going to change the system, hopefully. But if he does go five, which I think would be a last case scenario, you're then going to throw Zimmerman in there. You're going to let Dest and Robinson go a bit higher, and then you'll have a midfield. You'll probably have a midfield two of something like Adams, McKenzie, or Adam McKennie, sorry, or Sands, Adams, Sands, McKennie. You've got a group there that you can use, and then you'll use your wide forwards of Pulisic, Reyna. Oh goodness, they don't really have a striker outside of Sabachu and Pepe.
Sargent.
Oh, he's gonna put Josh Sargent in there. That sucks. Anyways, we'll go back to that. We'll get back to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then your rotation, right? You'll throw Bello in, you'll throw Zimmerman in, McKenzie in, give Reem a shot somewhere. Yedlin will get some time. He's got depth there. He'll be okay. On to the midfield though.
Can we hold on? Time. I'm totally switching the subject here for half a second.
Switching subjects for.
I just got a notification that Georginio was named the UEFA Men's Player of the Year.
Yeah, I got that last night.
That's criminal.
It's criminal. Yeah,
That's so criminal.
But-
he couldn't even start for he had a whole stretch of games in the Prem where he couldn't even start and he was on the bench.
But he's got the silverware, so and he scores penalties and he passes backwards a lot.
That's wild to me. I can't believe the player of the year. You're telling me out of you picked him over, unless was I reading it wrong? Is he just midfielder of the year?
No, he got you for player of the year
Over Messi, Holland, Lewandowski. You picked Georginio?
Lewandowski is the one that got robbed.
You picked Georginio? All right, anyway.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Georginio, Conte,
midfield.
Mende, Tuchel win all these awards.
Mhm.
That's criminal.
All right, so midfield. Oh wait, no, I'm not done with the defenders yet.
What do you mean?
I don't love the Yedlin pick here.
That's right. I forgot you said more dumb stuff. Go ahead. Tell me why.
I'm not like opposed to Yedlin, but I just feel like Shaq Moore did not step a foot wrong in that last tournament. And
oh my God, Shaq Moore's not in this team.
Yeah, he absolutely deserves
okay.
to be
No,
there.
I'm with you here. All right. No, you're. So for some reason, and I don't know if I saw the name Moore or something close to it, I thought Shaq Moore was in this team, and I just read that list and I didn't say it. I don't know why. Because when I looked up men's national team players, and he was one of the first people there. So like, oh yeah, Shaq Moore, no problem. You're 100% with you. That's really bad. Yedlin is good. Shaq Moore is better. Now unless he's saving Shaq Moore for because again, he's I don't know if he's still like analyzing players or what have you, but Shaq Moore was so good.
Yeah, he was so good.
He very rarely finished a 90 though, so I wonder if he's not fit.
I always thought that Reggie Cannon was the number 2 right back at the time.
Yeah,
And Shaq
Reggie
Moore,
is not even in this team.
I know. And Shaq Moore, I felt that Shaq Moore, based on that last tournament, probably jumped him in the depth chart.
Yeah, I mean,
At
Des
least for
was
the time
obviously
being.
number one. Des was obviously
Yes.
number one,
Yes.
but it was between who was going to be the backup or the rotation guy, and
then all of a sudden DeAndre Yedlin came in, who wasn't even in the battle, and got the backup job.
let me see something here.
I have no problems with Yedlin. Like, I know right back is a stacked spot for us, and like Yedlin will be fine. I just think there were guys that deserved it more. Like Shaq Moore was so good for us.
I think what we're asking is, where is Joe Scally? He made 4 tackles on Lewandowski. He should be in this.
He's saving him for the actual World Cup squad. He doesn't want him to get tired with these qualifiers.
It was so frustrating when I was reading that. Patrick Van Aanholt's at Galatasaray.
Wow, that is a fast fullback group, but also they're a little bit older now.
Yeah, he's 30.
Imagine their primes; those two would have been flying down the wings.
So to continue on with your point, at least in the first 2 games of the season that they have played, our good friend DeAndre Yedlin has not made an appearance yet. So there's less reason for him to be.
So explain to me why he's here, but Matt Miazga's not here because we got to pick Tim Ream for game experience, but lack of game experience doesn't matter.
Over this entire season, he's got 5 appearances.
It's ridiculous.
His last appearance came on the 19th in the Europa League qualifier. So he did play. So he's played since moving to Galatasaray. It seems in February of last year, or of this year, excuse me. He has played 4 times. He played once for Newcastle on January 9th, once for Galatasaray, or 3 times for Galatasaray, February 10th, July 28th, and August 19th, and then he played in the game against Switzerland.
At the end of the day, as long as Dest is the starting right back for any of the important games, any relatively important game, fine.
Mm-hmm.
You want to throw Yedlin out there against El Salvador, Cuba, go ahead. That's fine. Yeah. I think there were guys that deserved this more.
Sure. And unless he's picked up a ghost knock that nobody knows about, then I'm with you there. All right.
Now we can move on to the
now we go to the midfielders. Short one here, probably because you can do a lot of different things, right? Sands can come in as a defensive midfielder. I mean, you can use Pulisic or Reina as more of an attacking midfielder. Aronson as well can slide in there. So he didn't really need to go too in depth there, but you've got Kellen Acosta, who can also act as a left back. Tyler Adams, who can act as a right back. Sebastian Lletget, who is your shuttle player. Weston McKennie, who is your absolute baller and controller of the midfield. And Christian Roldan, who also has winger experience, apparently. I'm fine with all of this. Lletget, you knew was coming in here. If anything, it's to teach the younger players who haven't been in here too much, like Adams or who else? Aronson might slide in there, kind of what that role is supposed to be. Now, if he starts playing every game, we might have an issue. But I don't see – he really didn't do anything wrong. He wasn't really influential.
But he didn't do anything.
Well, he didn't do anything wrong either. That's the big one. So I'm okay.
He did nothing in the Gold Cup.
Just don't give him the captain's armband. We'll be fine. Like, just let him be a
person. In the Gold Cup, he was literally just a body out there. That was it. He was supposed to be our creative guy. Since we had no wingers.
But he was supposed to be a creative guy in a system that didn't have a creative player. That's not his job. That's never been his job. He's never been the number 10. I mean, maybe at West Ham when he was at West Ham, but he's never been a number 10. So I don't fault him for that. That's what you have players like Aronson now for, or Reina for, or Pulisic for. And if you remember the system that they play, those players like Leggett, McKennie, Roldan are going to slide out wide, and Reyna and Pulisic are going to come inside anyway. So they're going to be the creators. That's all it's going to be. I have no problem with him being in there. Who do you replace him with if you don't want him in there?
Well, you mentioned Musa was hurt.
Right.
Otherwise, I would have taken Musa.
No, absolutely. I'm with you there.
I would take Busio. I would almost even. I mean, this is obviously nobody's going to do this unless you're just like an outside fan and you have no risk involved in it. But I would I would love to take a flyer on Caden Clark in this case over Sebastian Lletget. Because why not? What's the harm?
Definitely. Have you watched him play this season?
I watched him early, and then I know he got hurt. Right?
He got hurt, and ever since he's been back, he's been back, but he's been awful. And not him being awful.
Okay, so now what about taking a flyer on Cole Bassett?
See, that's what the last. Oh, my computer's about to die. Hold on. The Cole Bassett situation should have been addressed in Nations League or Gold Cup. That's where he should have been. Now is not the time to take a flyer on him.
Except for the fact that you had to bring Sebastian Lletget for like the 8th time in a row to the Gold Cup.
Listen, I'm not saying that was the right decision. I'm just saying that now is not the time to do that. Because the last thing you want to do is take Cole Bassett, a 20-year-old player who has played very well, has not really been on the international stage yet, put him in a position where we are playing Sebastian Lletget gets hurt, and we have really nobody else to bring off the bench. He gets put into a game against Canada. We're tied 0-0, gives the ball away like Michael Bradley would. We lose 1-0, and then we miss out on qualifying by a game. Because then
I do not want to see Sebastian Lletget starting against Canada.
No, I definitely don't. And I don't think they will, right? Especially if you've got Adams. If Adams can stay healthy and McKennie can stay healthy, then you can go ahead and put Acosta in there. I think Roldan's going to get a lot of time.
I have my doubts about Roldan getting time. I kind of wish he did, but I don't think he will.
We'll definitely see. Because I think Greg was talking about how he really wanted to fit him in and just couldn't do it.
I don't believe that for a second. He's pretty versatile. I feel like he could definitely fit in.
Yeah, but he was really good off the bench, wasn't he?
Yeah, and then he couldn't start because why? Why he couldn't take Sebastian Lletget's place?
I don't know.
Lletget couldn't do the creator role. Why not just give Roldan a shot?
I mean, listen, you can go ahead and say why not give anybody a shot anywhere, but at the end of the day, if he doesn't put him in there, I think he knows what he's doing. We don't have anything to go off over the last 18 months to say that Greg doesn't know what he's doing.
I know, you're right.
We don't. Until he gives us a reason to start questioning him, I'm not going to. Which sucks because I love when I get to question coaches. But what do we have to go off of right now to be like, yeah, you don't know what you're doing?
No, that's fair.
Beaten Mexico twice, brought home two pieces of silverware, recruited everybody and their brother over here.
Yeah,
he has done very, very well. I'm happy with the midfield choice.
I'm okay with it. I kind of expected it, like you said.
I just need a Jackson Ewell sighting, and we'll be okay.
Stop it. I'm gonna end the call right now.
Moving into the forwards. Brendan Aronson, Conrad De La Fuente, Jordan Pefok Sibachu, Ricardo Pepi, Pulisic, Reyna, Josh Sargent, and Weah. Actually, before we go, who's your midfield three for the best midfield three you put in there?
Right now, probably McKennie, Acosta, and Adams.
Okay, I was gonna say that because Acosta was so good in the Gold Cup. I was gonna say that, or I was gonna say replace Acosta with Sands and let Adams and McKennie just go have fun and just Sands be the destroyer. But either way,
I'm okay with that too. That's also good.
Yeah. So forwards, big ones for me. Getting Conrad in there because he's been absolutely torching it at Marseille.
Yeah.
And obviously getting Pepi in there because we need to cap tie him. It stands out pretty clearly that Pepi's earned his spot here. This isn't he might be good, we need to cap him like it used to be back in the day. This dude can ball, and he has earned this spot.
Yeah, these forwards are awesome. The best part of the team by far. Greg really he brought it to the game with these forwards.
Does
This
he
is gonna
does
be
he
so
lose
exciting.
does he lose a couple of G's for the forward choices? So is he
I
down to
think
like 6?
I don't remember. Did we determine that G's was bad?
G's were bad. If he did something dumb, he got a
No,
G.
he's back to he's he might as well just be Gray at this point.
Uh, um, if I'm starting a group of these forwards, Sargent still gets the nod up top with Reyna and Pulisic flanking him. If we're rotating players in, Sabachu gets a start up top with Aronson on a wing and maybe Conrad on a wing. The Pepe will get a start with Weah on the wing. And then maybe put Weah up there with Reyna or Weah with Puli or something like that. But you'll see a lot of rotation of that over the next week or so, which will be pretty cool.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of flexibility with what they brought. I mean, you could even drop Brendan Aronson down into the midfield.
Mm-hmm.
It's much better than the Gold Cup where he kind of got stuck with the guys that he brought in because he was lacking wingers and he was very heavy on strikers and didn't really have creative players. But now this time there's a lot more variety, a lot more that he can play with. So it's definitely good to see that he'll have options.
Yep. Yeah. No, I'm happy with it. I think it's a good shout. And again, there's a good mix here of European talent, MLS talent. You've got a good mix of old versus new, young versus experienced. You've got a good mix of everything. Now he's just got to get the selection right.
Yep.
It's going to be the big one. So first game, Thursday, September 2nd, 1 week from today, 10:05.
10:05 p.m.
Yeah.
Why are we playing such late games?
It's 10:05, 8 o'clock on Sunday, and 10:05 on a Wednesday. Oh God.
They're pandering to the West Coast people, and I don't like it.
This is ridiculous. But we'll be here for it, which kind of sucks. I'm working 12 hours on Thursday, so
They start. Wait, they start next Thursday?
Thursday the 2nd.
I think you said you were. Never mind. This is a conversation.
Yeah. But yeah, so here it is, the start of the new era of World Cup football.
You never picked your front three. Who's your front three?
Yeah, I picked my front three.
I didn't hear it. Say it again.
Well, you gotta listen.
No, I don't.
Sargent gets a start with Reyna and Pulisic on the wings.
Okay, yep. That's exactly what I had have too.
Well, yeah, because I said it earlier.
I think the potential for Sargent to get swapped out for Sabachu is definitely there.
Oh yeah.
Or even Pepe.
I think he'll give Sabachu a shot because he's earned it in Nations League. But again, it's going to be just a bunch of rotations. And one more thing before we go, MLSsoccer.com posts, I am ready to play. Ricardo Pepi on his decision to join the USMNT. The first-time All-Star has now made his international choice.
You'll love to hear it.
Yep. I want to start by saying that I'm a Mexican-American and I'm proud of my heritage. It's something that will never be taken away from me no matter what nation I play for. I made the decision. I felt the USA trusts me, and I think it's due to Greg Berhalter and how he emphasized this to me. I had good talks with Greg and can make an impact with the USA and help this national team really do something special now and in the future. Greg, this guy, man, he should have he was at, I believe he was at Akron. Or no, that was Caleb Porter. Where did this dude coach in college? I don't think he did. He played, right?
Right.
Yeah, no. Greg never did a college team, which is kind of criminal because he could recruit the best players in the world. He could recruit Messi's kid to come play in the middle of Minnesota and he'd still find a way to do it.
Well, he's got some work to do because I think I remember Ronaldo's son. He's eligible, right?
Is he? I didn't know.
I thought he was born in the U.S. Am I wrong?
He might be.
Now I gotta look it up.
Yeah.
Gotta get
But
hyped for
as he looks that up, we'll close this out. That's just our quick little
Yep,
reaction.
yep. He was born in San Diego, California.
There
He's
we go.
eligible.
Cap it, baby. Get him on the
Cap him
team
right
now.
Get him in the team. Cap him.
But that is that's the way that those are our reactions. Those are our thoughts. Let us know what you think down in the comments, and stick around because we will have some more stuff coming up for you. We've got most influential players of the first half of the season. We've got some academy stuff. We got some interviews coming up. It's going to be great. So we'll see you soon. See ya.